بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
So now here, when you get into the vManager CLI configuration, there are a couple of things we need to configure. So we go to the global configuration mode, just like we go in the Cisco IWAs. We go to the global configuration mode. Now we go to the system. Now system is where we will be doing the configuration relating to system, like system settings, we can say. So we need to type in the system. Once you type in the system, there we can apply system specific settings. Like we will be changing the host name. Host name, you can set whatever you want. Like I'm setting up vManage 1. If you have multiple vManagers, you can say vManage 2, 3, like that. Now there is something called vSystem ID, system IP you need to specify. Now this is more like your router ID, we can say. More like in the Cisco router ID, we have something like OSPF or those kind of things. So this is kind of an IP which is identifying this particular device inside your viptela network or the SD-WAN network. And again, this number should be unique. So in my topology, I'll be using 1.1.1.1 for this, and then 1.1.1.2, and then 1.1.1.3 for the third one. Okay. So basically, these are the IPs, and I'll be using the system IPs, more like a router ID concept, we can say. And then we need to specify the site ID. Site ID is like where exactly like you may have multiple sites, and we give some numbers to each site. So I'm going to set all my vManager inside the site 1. And then probably when we connect some vEdges, the WAN devices will be using site 2, site 3, site 4, like that. So this site ID depends upon the location you need to specify. So automatically all the devices having the same site ID will be considered as the devices in the same location. It's something like that. And there are other things we need to keep in mind while we are doing this configuration, these two important things. Now we need to specify the organization name and the clock time zone. Now this organization name and the time zone is something you need to specify exactly based on the licensing. Because later on in the session, what we'll be doing is we'll be using the vEdges. These are my vEdges I'll be using in the site 2, site 3, site 4, or cEdges. The different devices I'll be using in different sites. Now for all these WAN devices, we call them as WAN edges, we need to do some licensing. Because whenever you add these WAN edge devices, so there is a file we need to get from the Cisco, the licensing file for your WAN edges. Now this is a licensing file, and this licensing file will be completely depending upon what organization name you are using inside the license registrations with Cisco website. Now again, with Cisco website, you need to do some kind of Cisco Smart licensing, from where you can download this viptela file if you have a Cisco partner login, or if you have a specific Cisco account credentials, which can be used to do that. And that is something you generally do in the production networks. But whereas in our lab environment, whereas here we are not doing the real production network scenario, and as well as it's not possible for each and every student to go and activate the Cisco Smart license or use the organization name, because every time you do that, if the organization name and these parameters are going to differ, let's say on the Cisco website with a smart account, I use some name, and maybe at the time of the controllers, I'm doing the configuration with some name, maybe slightly different. And while I'm downloading the vEdges, if these parameters mismatches, then that will prevent the WAN devices to getting registered with the controllers. So the end authentication process, which I'll be discussing a little bit later on sections, the authentication process will end up in failing. And that's the reason while I'm referring to the videos, if you have referred some of my videos already, in that while I'm documenting or explaining, I have used my own organization name. Based on that, I have downloaded the probably the vManage serials, and then some time zone. I have used a different time zone like Asia and Dubai. So I have updated these few things on the workbook, because the problem is when I'm going with these credentials, again the problem is I have to end up sharing few WIP files, and the license files which I have been using, that's not working for everyone. And that's where I have come up with a common file. So while you are doing the labs, keep in mind these two parameters has to be the same while you're doing the labs, and as it the same as in the workbook. So I'll be updating the workbook. That's where you will be seeing few of the things. And while I'm doing this session, probably I'll also update few things, and that's something you need to do. And the same thing will match with the vManage serial files, which will be using later on sections where we'll be doing some WAN edge licensing. So if basically whatever the files I have shared, basically whatever the vManage serials I have shared in the Google Drive to download, that file is based on these credentials. So these credentials, so these things has to match. So don't, in normal cases, you can give the organization name and the clock time zone, whatever as per your license registration with Cisco. But we are not doing the actual valid licensing kind of process in the lab scenarios. And that's something not possible, even though I'm going to cover that, how to do the step-by-step process. But that's something applicable in the production networks, which you have to do. But in the lab environment, I strongly recommend you to use the exact naming and the time zones, so that it will not create any authentication issues in the later on sections. So organization name and the clock time zone, these settings, we generally set these things, and these things will also match with your Cisco licensing options over there. So this is a thing. And the next thing, we need to specify the vBond IP address. Of course, the vBond is your device which will do the authentication process for every WAN edge devices. Any WAN edge devices you're going to connect, that device will get authenticated to this. And of course, even the vManager also should authenticate with via vBond. Basically, that's a process. So we need to compulsory specify the IP address of the vBond as well.